know the light will pass and the dark will fall.
All right, want to do a quick video here on the Libyan president, Colonel Gaddafi. Apparently has been killed today as of 10/20/2011, October 20th of 2011. And what I'm doing this video on is bringing some different aspects on this Libyan president. A lot of people on Facebook and different media outlets, social media outlets, are congratulating themselves and other people. Yeah, he's dead. The Colonel Gaddafi's dead. And what an evil dictator, etc., etc. And I'm saying, hey, don't drink the Kool-Aid, the media Kool-Aid that's been put out there today and will be put out for months and years to come. Because the more you look, or if you look at Colonel Gaddafi, the more you could see something's not right with the projections of this evil dictator that they're putting out in the media. Wow, he's evil. We got to go in there. If you do your research, and I've been posting this on Facebook. If you're not on my Facebook friendship list yet, get on my friendship list. Daryl Lawson, go look me up. Or just go to darylawson.com and you can get the Twitter, you can get the YouTube videos, and you can get the Facebook connections right there. But on Facebook, I've been posting for the last several days and a lot today on some of the great things Colonel Gaddafi has been doing for his country and the whole region over there. So when people post on Facebook and they say, oh, he's dead, I'm glad he's dead, what an evil dictator. My question to these people are, do you even know who he is? Do you even know what Colonel Gaddafi did? Now, I'm not saying that he's Mother Teresa or Saint Francis of Assisi or the Apostle Paul. I'm saying that sure, he's human, and guess what? When you have humans, you have faults. You have the good, the bad, and the ugly. I did a video like that yesterday on the Wall Street occupations there, revolution. But anyways, getting back to Gaddafi, I want you to check out all the information that you get. Don't just start spewing things out over the Facebook or on the web without you actually going to the YouTube videos or the Google searches or whatever and do a search on these people. Why? Why am I saying this? Is because you're looking, most media outlets around the world are whore media outlets. Whore, prostitute, W-H-O-R-E. Whore is another word for prostitute, right? And what these media outlets do, these organizations, these news organizations do, is they write their articles according to the people that pay them the most. And that's why they're called whore media. And I love that description of them because that's what they're doing. Now, this whole thing with Gaddafi stinks to high heaven. Now, I feel sorry for this guy. Now, I don't know if the guy's dead or not. There's conflicting reports coming in as I do research. There's a guy that I love to listen to. His name's Steve Pieczenik. And if you want to know his name, how to spell it, it's Piecz or Zenik. Steve Pieczenik. And you can go Google him up there. And he's a very highly respected intelligence officer who has worked under many government agencies for the States and around the world. And he's saying it's highly unlikely that he's dead. Muammar Gaddafi, is that his first name? We'll call him the Libyan president, right? Colonel Gaddafi is dead. He doesn't believe it. He says the operation of the intelligence committee is not to kill these leaders, but it's to exile them to another country, Algeria or whatever, like so many of the past, and they tell the people that they're dead. So I don't know. The videos that I watched, man, they look real. It looks like Colonel Gaddafi. It looks like they're dragging around in the streets. But I want to focus here on a couple extra points that you're not going to hear from the whore media. Do some research on Colonel Gaddafi, the Libyan president. Look what he was up to before the invasion. Now, he's been in power, what, 40 to 52 years? And you don't stay in power for all those years by being non-intelligent. This guy, the more I studied the Libyan president, the more I see his intelligence. Now, the media, the whore media, wants to portray him like a lunatic. Now, I'm sure there's weird things that he's done, and there's weird things probably you've done and I've done if they see all our dirty laundry. So, but I am very skeptical when the horror media wants to portray someone in a bad light. They're usually good. So, and when the media portrays somebody as good, they're usually bad, right? And this is, and I'm surprised because I'm looking on Facebook, and there's a lot of people that I think should know better, and they're dancing in their words saying, oh, the dictator's dead. And my question is, do you know even what Colonel Gaddafi has done in his life? How do you know who he is? I read one point saying, hey, we don't know hardly anything about him. And I really appreciated that about the post of this one person that said, man, we don't even know who this guy is. And that's my point. Most people are running around just going, oh, this is a great Thursday because Gaddafi's dead. And you don't even understand what he's done and what he tried to do for his people. The more my nose is itchy here. The more I read and watch videos of Colonel Gaddafi, the more I think to myself, man, this guy wasn't as bad as the horror media portrays him to be. Now, I've said this before, and I've done a video about that I was joking, but and partly serious, that the more research I do about Colonel Gaddafi, the more I think to myself, man, this guy should run for the American presidency. Why do I say that? Well, I want to make a number of points here before this video is out. I've said that before, but I say this again because the more research you or I do about this guy, if you do it, the more you realize that this guy was very highly intelligent. Gaddafi was very intelligent, and to me had a great love for his people. Now, I don't know any Libyans in Orange County, California, but from the research, when I start to question what the horror media is saying, what they say usually is the opposite, or it's usually part truth. And when you have to do your own research, you start to find out, man, this guy wasn't as bad as they said. Now, I'll give you an example, but go look up that Steve Pachenik videos on YouTube. The intelligence operator for the government, person that works for the government, he will set you straight on a lot of the issues that are coming out on the horror media. But look at this, for instance. I just did a quick search for the Libya's Great Man-Made River Project. Libya's Great Man-Made River Project. Now, do you know that Colonel Gaddafi, the Libyan president, undertook and built the greatest water project in history for his people? Did you ever read that? Go look it up on Google. I'm looking, or happen to be looking, at GOUMbook.com, guambook.com, and it's got a great article here, but you can find it anywhere, and it talks about the river project that Colonel Gaddafi did. That's a tongue twister. It says the 1st of September marks the anniversary of the opening of the major stage of Libya's river project, man-made river project. It says this incredible, huge, successful water project is virtually unknown in the West. Guess why? Because of the horror media. Oh my God. You see, the media is owned by the corporations. The corporations are owned by one of the three monsters. The Beast system, which is Europe and United States, is the Beast. You got the Vatican, which is the other monster, and then you have the other one is the dark side of the Israelis. These three monsters are controlling the corporations and the medias around the world. So you have to find your own media, bypassing their horror media. Are you saying all the Israelis are bad? Nope. Are you saying all the Catholics are bad? Nope. You're saying all the Europeans or Americans are bad? Nope. But there's definitely the corrupt governments, corrupt side of the governments in these countries, and they are running their mafias around the world. Yes, I said mafias. Now let's listen to this. It says Libya's water supply up until recently came from underground aquifers on the coast, but Water derived from the desalinization or aquifers near the coast was of poor quality. It was of poor quality and sometimes undrinkable. So guess what he does? In the 1960s, he was, it looks like he was exploring for oil, and they came across, Colonel Gaddafi did, vast reservoirs of high quality water were discovered in the form of aquifers. And it says here, the most important of these aquifers are water-bearing. What's an aquifer? It's a water-bearing rock strata in the earth. It says were laid down during the past time, in times past. They came about in the Tibesti Mountains. Anyways, they found it, and they saw it was on the Libya's border with Chad. Anyways, they found this great reservoir, Colonel Gaddafi did, in the 60s. And then it tells in the article basically where the water came from, and the temperature was different, and the water filled up these pools underground. Anyways, it goes on to say that in October 83, the Great Man-Made River Authority was created. Why are they creating this? Because Gaddafi wanted to bring water to his people and to the surrounding areas. That doesn't sound like a madman to me, does it to you? Somebody doesn't like this guy. These three monsters don't like this guy. Why would water be a threat? Because if you have water in that part of the world, unlimited amounts of water, and he has oil and gold, man, he's not going to bow down to some new world order. That's why they hate these guys. The Jews, the Israelis hate this guy. The dark side of those governments, these governments hate him because he's not going to bow down to their corruption, neither to the Vatican, neither to the beast system, which is Europe and America combined. That's why they hate this guy. And there's another reason as well. Well, it deals with the gold. Anyways, in 1983, it says this authority was created to start this project to bring water from these underground reservoirs. And then it talks about here to help for irrigation in the coastal belt. In 96, it reached one of its final stages, this project, and the gushing forth of sweet, unpolluted water started to go to the homes and the gardens of the citizens of Libya's capital, Tripoli. Well, that sounds like a madman to me. I'm so glad he got killed today. Do you understand now why I'm doing this video? I feel sorry for this guy. When I see people on Facebook going, woo, the wicked witch is dead. Hey, whoa. Do you even know who Colonel Gaddafi is? Well, he looks weird. He's got this funny hat and funny clothes on. Everybody looks weird. Anyways, I'm going to read a little more on this article right here. So he starts bringing water to his citizens. I heard in another report that that even gasoline was cheaper than water. I mean, this guy really started to help his people. It says this great man-made river project is the largest water transport project ever undertaken, and has been described as the 8th wonder of the world. Well, that sounds like a madman to me. Evil Gaddafi. No, it carries more than 5 million cubic meters of water per day across the desert to coastal areas, vastly increasing the amount of arable land or land you can work on. The total cost of the huge project is expected to exceed $25 billion. For his people. Hallelujah. And it talks about consisting of a network of pipes buried underground to eliminate evaporation, 4 meters in diameter. I mean, this gets down to exactly what's going on here. Anyways, it's talking about how it's cheaper to do this than it is to take the water from the ocean and change it into fresh water. And it talks about here the goal of the Libyan Arab people embodied in the Great Man-Made River Project is to make Libya a source of agricultural abundance, capable of producing adequate food and water to supply its own needs and to share with neighboring countries. In short, the river is literally Libya's meal ticket to self-sufficiency. Now, I'm not going to go on, you can read about that, but this doesn't sound like a madman to me. A madman would be, forget the water. Man, we're just going to suck oil and I'm going to take all the money and you can go whatever. I was going to say something. But this guy doesn't sound like a madman to me. I read this article. Go research this, because what you're hearing from the horror media has to be questioned. It's the Kool-Aid they want you to drink. Now, I'm not saying again that everything he did was perfect, but I'm saying the things that I'm finding out about this guy is not and was not and is not and shall be not the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Actually, what you're hearing on the horror media is basically lies and a propaganda to cause people to say, yeah, that's why we're in there. We're in there to get that dictator out of there because he was so bad for his people. He was so bad, he was giving water to his people. If you look up what he's actually doing and has done, he has a great track record. His track record is better than Obama's track record. What has Obama done in almost, 4 years? Next year will be 4 years. What has he done? Wars and more wars. I thought he got a Nobel Peace Prize, but he's got more wars going on now than Bush did and maybe any other president at one time. He's definitely getting America into more debt. There's more wars now than any time. I don't see him building water supplies or fixing the bridges. Well, I think he invested in a solar project that went belly up. I think he's taken over companies for the government. I think he's implementing things that aren't working. I think most people don't like him. But do you see the CIA coming after him? Do you see somebody dragging the president around like Colonel Gaddafi? Man, and then another thing, if you haven't seen the videos, go on YouTube and do a search on the videos of Gaddafi trying to get his country blessed out of the control of the banking cartels around the world right now. Everybody is, every city almost of the whole world is protesting the corrupt banking system. Now, I think, of course, a Libyan president knows how corrupt the banking systems and the cartels are around the world. And from my research on what he wanted to do, Colonel Gaddafi wanted to take the dependence off of the foreign banks, the Federal Reserves, the United States dollar, and he wanted to go to a gold standard. Now, if you haven't, go on my Facebook, scroll down, you'll see all the articles. But basically, I think I even have it right here. Well, yeah, I have it right here. I posted this morning on Facebook. So if you're not on my Facebook yet, get on my Facebook, because the headings is just right there. You don't even have to do any research. Here's one from YouTube, put out by RT, Russia Today, because you have to bypass the American horror media and go to somewhere else and get actual media. Are you listening to a foreign? Yeah, you got to listen to other medias, because the corporate media, the prostitute horror media, is telling you what they want you to hear so they can take over countries. Listen to this. RT, it says the YouTube video, Gaddafi's gold currency prompted NATO to invade Libya. My God, some believe that Libya was attacked because, yes, of their oil, because they say he was an evil dictator, but in reality it was because Libya planned to get rid of the United States dollar out of its country. Gaddafi wanted to bring in a gold dinar currency and get rid of the United States dollar. So if you bought oil from his country, you'd have to pay in gold. Because why? I believe he wanted to get rid of the banking corrupt cartels, which is everybody on the earth now seems to be protesting in their cities. They don't like it, and I think he found out about it, and he didn't want the corruption and these banking cartels, these corrupt banking cartels, taking over his country. What banking cartels? The Israeli banking cartels, the Rothschilds and all their tentacles, the Vatican and all their banking corruption, and the European and the American banking cartels, which are all intertwined, but they are separate. They really don't like each other, but they all feed like vultures on the carcasses of the dead people around the world. And so I believe this Colonel Gaddafi, by the research that I've been doing, wanted to say, hey, I'm not controlled by you knuckleheads. I want freedom for myself and for the people. When you do that, they're coming against you. They're going to get you. They're going to take you down. And so all this stuff that you're seeing on the media right now, and people are dancing around and putting on Facebook, woo, he's dead. I think you should be ashamed of yourself. Where is your intelligence? Where is your facts? Are you getting your information from the whore media? My God. And the Christians out there are some of the most ignorant people. They speak before they speak before they find out. I'm telling you. The Bible says that in the last days there will be the time of the great delusion, the great deception. And I believe that's the time we're living in right now, the time of the great deception. The Bible says that, God wanted to send truth to the people, but they refused the truth, so he sends them a great delusion. And I believe that's happening right now, the great delusion. All forms of people around the world are under this great deception. The White House is operating under a great deception. Why would you ever give the Nobel Peace Prize to Barry Soetoro, Barack Hussein Obama, when there's more wars now than ever before? I promise when I get into power, I said it, listen to me now, I will take out the armies. I will bring the armies back. I will bring the military back. Sure you will. Sure you will. Now you're going to probably invade Iran. You're still in Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan. Now it's going in all Africa. You're in Libya. What other country are you going to invade? They're trying to find an excuse right now to invade Iran. Why? Because they all want the piece of the puzzle. It seems very strange that these guys are pushing forward so much before 2012. Maybe they have a 2012 complex where they believe that it's some kind of interesting Mayan calendar thing, so we have to push toward that. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's why there's so much activity going on now before 2012, and it happens to be the year of the new presidential election cycle coming here. And so there's a lot happening pushing to 2012. But I wanted to do this video on Colonel Gaddafi, the Libyan president, because you need to be slow to speak, slow to anger, and quick to hear. Don't be jumping around when the whore media says something. Do your own research. I told you before, whoever they like is usually wrong. And whoever they like is usually wrong, and whoever they dislike is usually good. Let me say that again. Whoever the whore media likes, it's the opposite. They're usually bad. And whoever the whore media doesn't like are usually good. And the more I find that to be, the more and more I find out about things that they say, the more I find that to be true. Because I do the research, I look it up, I ask, I seek, and I knock, and I'm coming to find out over and over again that, man, these guys aren't crazy dictators, but it's a master demonic plan of the devil. Yes, I said the devil, through the New World Order knuckleheads, through these three great monsters, to bring the world into a one world currency, to fulfill their agendas. They don't care about the people, they care about their agendas. But sad to say for them, that the beast is going to attack the Vatican, and then the beast is going to attack the Israelis. So they're all going to start fighting each other here in the near future, and which we come down to the Battle of Armageddon. So they're killing everybody, but they're eventually going to take their knives to their own throats. All right, do your own research. Don't drink the media Kool-Aid, and find out the good that these people have been doing around the world, and find out the lies and the deception that the media is giving to you and to people all around the world. All right, God bless you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.
I know the light will